And welcome back to Jersey Central here on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Without further ado, let's get right to the Jersey Central Newsmaker hotline. You know, Blood, Sweat, and Tears are coming to State Theater, New Jersey for a show next Friday night, December 9th. Tickets are on sale now and going fast at statetheaternj.org, but I'm real honored to be joined right now. Yeah, he's the front man now of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and of course, you watched him on television, as did many millions of people with American Idol, and he took a run all the way to the finals, and now he's doing his thing with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. It is my honor to welcome Bo Bice to WCTC. Bo, what's up, man? It's Burt Barron. How are you?
Hey, Bert. How's life treating you there in Jersey? Or I guess New Brunswick, right? How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great now because Bo Bice is on the phone, man, and I've been a fan for a long time. I watched you on American Idol. I pulled for you to win that thing, and I'm so glad you're still out there on the road and playing great music, and Blood, Sweat, and Tears is the gig of the day for you, man, huh?
Well, you know what? It's really kind of cool for me personally, as a, in feather in the cap, and the whatever you want to call it. I call it the long game, the career. It amazes me every day I wake up. It's been 3 years now since I've taken on the task of fronting this behemoth of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and it's just truly amazing, man. If you told me that earlier in my career, that just from picking the song Spinning Wheel and doing that song on American Idol, that would, open up the doors for me to be able to go and move forward as the front man for BS&T.
Hollywood.
I would have said you were crazy.
Yeah.
But and that's how it all really started.
Hollywood could not have scripted it any better, I don't think, Bo.
Well, it is, and that goes back to that whole. Look, I know it doesn't sound. I'm supposed to turn into, the public persona, which I don't do well because I'm just kind of what you see, what you get. But yesterday, I was my wife and I were at a PTA conference. We have 4 kids, so we were up there at school and walking around the school. You hear the mumblings and the hey, he's famous. Hey, here's this. Right, there's a customer, things like that. And so it's kind of cool that my wife looked at me, and Caroline said, isn't that funny that they do that? And we were up there for several hours, and it happened several times. And then finally one of these little girls said, excuse me, Mr. Bice? And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, are you famous? And I said, well, sweetheart, it just depends on what you think famous is. She said, well, you are on TV, right? And you were on American Idol. I said, well, yes, ma'am, I was, and I said, I got second to Carrie Underwood. I said, I worked real hard, and that's what the real story is, I'm still doing what I love for a living every day. It's what I dreamed about doing from when I was a child. And you never really lose as long as you get to do what you love every day. But you have to practice a lot. You have to work really, really hard, and you have to stay dedicated to it. So whatever you want to be your passion, that's you can make it happen. Just work hard. And so those kind of things, man, it's funny to look back now as a dad of 4 and husband, and I'm still getting to, step on stage every night, and I play from an incredible catalog of music. And I still get to go out and do my Bo Bice stuff, man. So life couldn't be better for me, but at the end of the day, I think it really does still kind of make me chuckle a little bit when I show up at my kids' school and, out of the mouths of babes, sometimes it's, as we know in our business, when they're not talking about you, you try to figure out ways to make them. So
yeah.
It's funny that the kids are still kind of still tied in and still think it's cool too, man. Even though I'm turning them on now to, especially my kids, the new generation of music with the great Blood, Sweat, and Tears catalog.
Yeah, that's great, man. I did the math the other day, Bo, and I looked at the birth date of Blood, Sweat, and Tears and the birth date of Bo Bice, and, man, they were doing their thing before you were born.
Well, you know what? This band's been around since 1967, and they've put out some incredible music. And, that's the other thing, Bert, is we get to play from some of the greatest musicians on the face of the planet every night, get to play from this great catalog of hits and Grammy Award-winning songs. And so, now 3 years deep into it, next year is the golden anniversary. It's 50 years.
Man.
And so we're looking forward to that. just like we're looking, we're going to be there on December 9th, and so that's coming up quick. We'd love for you guys to come out and visit, because we're going to be sharing that catalog of music with you. And I step on stage every night, and I always equate it to kind of like being shot off the end of a aircraft carrier, with those big horns behind you and just this amazing, intense musicianship. So everybody's in for a show, and, I can't thank you guys enough at CTC for everything that you did, 1450 AM, spreading the word, and you taking the time to let me come on and bend your ears for a bit. So I encourage you to come out, too. I'd love to shake your hand.
I will, man. Are you kidding? No arm twisting required for me, man. I've been following you for a long time, and so excited that you're doing your thing with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And you mentioned that it's so cool that now you're taking these great songs that I've grown up with and people around my age and presenting these to a whole new audience. And what a special thing that's got to be, just to keep the Blood, Sweat, and Tears name going. And maybe you've seen that band before, but I'm telling you, you ain't seen it with Bo Bice out front, and you're missing something.
Well, that's the other thing with it, Bert, is that when I decided to pull, this all started with I was just going to be a kind of a guest featuring thing. We were going to do 3 shows, then 5 shows, then 8 shows. And, now 3 years later, we're still out kicking it and having fun. But one of the first things I said when I decided to become, I guess, a member of this band is, I never wanted this to turn into the Bo Show. This is about blood, sweat, and tears. There's some songs that I've chosen that, aren't blood, sweat, and tears songs that are in the set, and we've gotten some arrangements of that are really cool. But, this isn't the Bo Show. You're not going to see me really playing any Bo Bice music there. And, I took a couple of years off from that. I'll be going back to doing that next year, too, a little bit. And, this is truly about this catalog of music. And that was one of the things I wanted to make sure that we stayed true. As a fan, I wanted to make sure that we stayed true to that. And so when you come out to visit us and to see the show, man, you're really going to be, you're the star of the show. The catalog of the music is the star of the show. So we love the fact that everybody's singing along with the music and engaged, and we tell some funny stories and stuff. And so it's a fun show that after 3 years, I'm still having fun doing it. And that's the most important thing.
Man, I can't wait for next Friday night, December 9th, State Theater, New Jersey, in New Brunswick, with Bo Bice and Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Get the tickets now at statetheaternj.org. They're going fast. I'm telling you, they're going to be flying out the door once people hear that Bo Bice was on with me this morning, and they're going to be grabbing those tickets by the handful. So make sure you get yours at statetheaternj.org. We know the hits, Bo. People know the BST hits over the years. You guys kind of going deep into the catalog of songs, and maybe a couple hidden gems you're bringing out and polishing off and presenting those in a new way?
Well, that's one of the cool things is with this catalog of music, there are different singers who have different hits from obviously most people know of David Clayton Thomas because of the big hits with You Made Me So Very Happy and Spinning Wheel and things like that. But there are great songs that Jerry Fisher is one of my favorite singers that came through the band. Steve Katz also sang different things. So you have a really diverse background when it comes to the hits that were in this band. And we also get so many requests, when people show up. And that's one of the other funny things I'll tell you, man. I don't want to give away one of my jokes during the show, but it's so true. You would be amazed how many people show up and they request songs that Blood, Sweat, and Tears never did. But being the horn band, they always...
That's funny. Wow. Oh, man.
They're always saying, hey, man, did you guys play, this? And so we've got a little spot in the set that we call Songs People Think Blood, Sweat, and Tears Wrote, but they didn't.
That's awesome.
A couple of those in there just so people get a chuckle.
That's awesome. Again, December 9th, a week from today, you want to be at State Theater for Blood, Sweat, and Tears featuring Bo Bice. Get tickets at statetheaternj.org. Bo, there's probably, I could name right now 20, 25, 30 bands that if I dropped you in front of, you'd be elevating them to a whole new level, and you probably hear that a lot, but was there a band or two that you idolized growing up that said, man, I'd love to be the front man of that group?
Growing up, I've always been, I think people know of me, a very Southern rock-driven guy. And so Leonard Skinner is one of my favorite all-time bands. Is growing up as a kid, as far as the songwriting, I wouldn't so much ever want to be the lead singer of that band, because not only was Ronnie Van Zant, incredible, but the best person to take over was my buddy Johnny, his brother.
Yeah, true.
But I'll tell you what, I'd love to be an honorary member, maybe like a guitar tech or something.
Man.
So, but as far as that goes, to be honest, I think that's one of the things about this moving forward with BS&T that has really kept me so interested for so long, because I've always said if I quit digging it, I'll quit doing it. And that doesn't mean that I'll just quit the band. That means, that's just music in general. And for this, it drives me each day to step on stage with such accomplished musicians. You never want to be the weakest link on stage in this band. So I think that really keeps me at the top of my game. And to be honest with you, more than stepping away from doing my thing or being Bo Bice or whatever, I think I was just more drawn to focus more energy into this project, because it really was something that rekindled that spirit in me that I might have lost somewhere in between the Idol show and a couple of albums and different ups and downs. I might have lost a little bit in myself, and I think that BS&T really helped to rekindle that part of me that was being in a band, being in a team unit. It's not the Bo Show, it's us. There's no I in team, whatever cliche you want to use. But it really helped me to focus more on who I really am as an artist and what, when I do speak, what I want to say and with my music, because I have such a platform now with Blood, Sweat, and Tears that is no one can argue with the fact it is a legacy band. So I'm honored to be a small part of that. It truly is an honor.
Yeah, great for you, man. I really admire your dedication and your attitude with all this, and just loving life and enjoying every minute of your life, man. I'm so happy for you, and I can't wait to say hello on December 9th when BST and Bo Bice come to State Theater, New Jersey. Again, get tickets, statetheaternj.org. Bo Bice, what an honor, my man, and we'll talk to you on 12/9 in New Brunswick, my brother, all right?
All right, Bert, you be good. Thanks for taking the time, brother. We'll see you soon.